Hello, everyone. I had to connect with you tonight because I saw this article, and honestly, I had to look around and make sure it was legitimate because it just totally shocked me. And I guess maybe I'm not supposed to be shocked because I know this is part of the agenda, but it really doesn't matter how many times certain things come up that when you actually see that it happened, you step back, you say, I can't believe this. You try to push it out of your mind, you try to forget about it, and then there it is right in your face. The thing that I'm talking about right now is there was an article in the Epoch Times. Swedish researcher advocates eating human flesh to combat climate change food shortages. Wow. Climate change alarmism has taken a macabre turn that looks like a satire, but it isn't. It happened in Sweden, of all places. I thought the Swedish people were open-minded, but this is a step too far. So there was a gastro summit in Stockholm on September 3rd to the 4th, and a professor held a PowerPoint presentation asserting that we must awaken to the idea of eating human flesh in the future as a way of combating the effects of climate change. In the talk, and then he just goes into it. His name is Magnus Soderlund, and I mean, this is disgusting. This is shocking, and the fact that they are anticipating, planning, strangely celebrating in their own way, thinking that we need to survive this way. All the plants in the world, everything that we have is right there. Do they have certain plans that, would entail that that's the only way that we could eat anything? And they're suggesting, eating plants, eating insects, eating pets. I mean, this is crazy. And then I guess they created this term Människoköttbranschen, which means a human flesh industry. It makes you want to vomit. And this is disgusting. This is the Fourth Reich at its best. This is the tall whites. Here they are in a human body, and this is what they're planning for us. And I said to someone, and he hasn't been arrested for even talking like this? And so my friend said to me, well, if it's part of the agenda, how can they arrest someone that's fulfilling the part of the agenda? And then, of course, they bring up this issue about how some of these cannibalistic islanders, Papua New Guinea, for example, the 1930s, they believed in eating their dead instead of allowing the worms to eat it. And it's just disgusting. It's repulsing. I'll put the link in. It's hard for me to talk about it. I'll put the link there for you to look at. Maybe you don't want to look at it. I'm very sorry. This is not for those that are weak at heart, but we need to know what they're doing blatantly. There's a lot of stuff happening out there. But this one, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't prepared for it. And I'm sure many of you aren't prepared for this. It didn't help that just recently I did a private session for someone, and I saw what looked like a vat of body parts or something. It's not good. It's not a good thing. So I think the best way to approach this is let's do a full I do not consent. I do not agree with this agenda. And we ask for divine intervention. We ask for the power of the tall whites to be diminished. and sent to their proper place and time where either they can learn or be dealt with in the proper way. But let's all proclaim that we do not consent to this agenda, and I know that people have been talking for a while about them doing this stuff already in our food, and we ask that that is stopped and that we have insight, we have a warning, and that our loved ones are protected, and that none of this can go forward. I know this is one of the timelines that they wanted to roll out. It doesn't need to happen. So getting warmed up to this idea, Mr. Tall White, we don't consent to what you're doing, and it's unfortunate that Sweden is publicly trying to educate people out of fear or whatever it is, or the agenda of that it is, and the immersion or the immersion of the tall whites coming forward and being very blatant about their actions. So there it is. Thank you for listening.